Welcome to the Abundance Breakthrough Summit. This is your host, Lucy McMonagle, and I'm so incredibly excited that you are listening today. Thank you for participating in this interview series summit so that you can start breaking through the 100K barrier and start moving towards the 7-figure barrier. Today we have a very special guest who's very near and dear to my heart. I have seen that she's a phenomenal author. She has many, many books out there. She's been seen on CNN. She has been on the Entrepreneur magazine and so many others. Her name is Carol Sankar, and she is a high-level consultant and the founder of the Confident Factor for Women in Leadership, which is a global executive leadership firm focused on diversity and inclusion initiatives for high-level women. Carol has been featured at TEDx, the Steve Harvey Show, Bounce TV, and Rhodes, the Society for Diversity, SHRM, Entrepreneur Magazine, Homevestors, and so many more. So her website is carolshaker.com if you would like to get a hold of her. But let's welcome her to the Abundance Breakthrough Series. Welcome to the series, and thank you, Carol, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for that warm introduction.
Fabulous. So I am so curious about, you're the founder of the Confident Factor for Women in Leadership, and one of my prime directives, one of my sole purpose missions is to really empower women to become leaders themselves so that they can fulfill their destiny. And how did you develop the Confident Factor for Women Leadership?
Basically what happened is I'm a real estate entrepreneur mostly. That's really where my claim is, that the thing that I do that I'm most passionate about, other than, making sure that women really show up as high-level leaders. And in real estate, I started to realize that I was experiencing what I like to call gender loneliness. It was, I'm not a real estate agent or broker. I'm a builder. So it's really hard to find women builders. And so everywhere I'd go, whether it was the permit department or whether I had to go to a construction site or wherever I had to go, I was finding I was the only woman in the room. And a lot of the heteronormative expectations were some of the things that I was coming across, where it was like, it's 4:00, why don't you go get your kid? Or are you, where's your husband? Or who's the guy that runs this firm? Things like that. And as I started to realize that these were the issues coming up and I couldn't find women in my arena, I started to look at other areas of professional development where there were no women, especially in law, engineering, physics, professors. I started looking at other industries and realized that we had a really huge problem. And so I put together a study, and the study lasted for 4 years. And at the end of the study, I realized nothing else was wrong with us other than the ability to have confidence enough to believe in ourselves, to really step into hyper masculine roles and really lead by design. So the confidence factor was developed literally out of being alone and being by myself and figuring that there are other women who suffer with these deficiencies, and we had to create space for them to be able to learn how to get in.
Wow. And that's so important that women are creating space for other women so that they can get into the leadership position and mostly male-dominant fields. But not only that, but to have the confidence to move forward and to start stepping into their destiny.
Yes. That was huge.
That's extremely huge. And I really feel like right now, there are so many women that are starting their own businesses. They're starting to take more leadership roles. They're starting to step into their true destiny, their true purpose. And you're one of the way seers. You're one of the ones that are creating the space so these women can do this. That is amazing. So one of the things that you mentioned is that confidence is really important, and confidence was one of the main things that was lacking. So can you tell us a little bit more on why is this confidence so important to the issues of leadership and business for these women to step into their destiny?
Well, I say it like this. Do you want a fearful doctor operating on your heart? That's the question I ask everybody. So if your heart is beating at an irregular beat, do you want someone trembling when they're getting ready to open up your chest and figure out what's going on in your heart? Or do you want a doctor who's going to tell you the this vein to that vein and I can fix that? Do you want people that are going to tell you the fearful truth? And as women, we have this way of, without noticing we're doing it, we sell our fears all day. So we sell our
Yes.
insecurities all day. And so I realized that it's because of confidence we don't show up in these high level leadership positions. We don't start businesses that go to multiple six figures, seven figures, eight figures, and beyond, because we have this low level of expectations of ourselves. It's not even about the people around us. But I always want women to think of themselves as a heart surgeon. When your heart is getting ready to stop beating, do you want a fearful doctor around you, or do you want an expert, someone who can say, I can fix that? Instead of, saying, well, I think I can, or I'm not sure. You have to believe in yourself. And confidence, it normally keeps women away from going to the next level. I've been there before, where I try to settle for the five and I try to settle for the early six figures, and I thought I was doing good until I realized there's no limit here. I have to just start increasing my ask and stop being so fearful and advertising my fear all day. And that's how I think, and this is why I think confidence is such an important part about building a business.
Wow. And that's so true that so many women, they'll settle for
Yeah.
something they know because it's really good, or it's better than the other friends that I know, or it's better than where my family was, or it's, they do a comparison, and then the comparison gets into this fear factor, and then the fear factor allows them to settle.
Yes, yes. And then comparing yourself to anyone else normally means you don't believe in yourself. And so you can't look at my 10-year journey versus your 10-day journey and think that we're the same. We're not. So you have to look at what are your core skill strengths and really work on those. I'm a real estate entrepreneur, but I'm not, the Troutman brothers or the bigger guys. Like, I'm not them. I can't compare myself to their 30-year lineage. I've only been in this space for 10 years. So what we have to start doing is looking at what our skill set is and kind of staying on that. And that builds your confidence within your own race. Like, you're running your own race and you're staying in your skill set, and you can actually do so much more from that.
That's so true. That's so true. And that really staying within your skill set and knowing what your skill set is
Yeah,
also important.
yeah,
So that will also, it builds your confidence and be able to move forward. So
yeah.
one of the other things that so many of the creative women entrepreneurs and the other conscious women that are listening to this summit, they might be looking at, okay, great, you say build confidence, but
Mm.
they're not really sure where how they lost their confidence in the first place. So can
Mm.
you explain to me, in your opinion, on why do you feel so many women have a deficiency in the confidence, or they have confidence issue when it comes to their professional journey?
Well, I mean, I don't want to show my age, my real age, but we didn't have social media at one time in our lives, right? We
Right.
used to be able to get out and network with people. I remember those days, even though I'm 22, I remember those days when
Yes.
we used to be able to connect with people. And I think social media plays a huge role in our lack of confidence, because now our deficiency is, if we don't get enough likes, we think we're not good enough. And so
Mhm.
you post something and then you take it down because nobody's liking it. Or you're looking for people to validate your programs. You're putting together your new coaching program, you put it on Facebook, no one likes it. You think you're not good enough. And it has really changed the way women show up in leadership, because we base a lot of our own belief about ourselves because we're vulnerable to the like button. We're vulnerable to people, how what their opinions of us are. So I think that that's a leading cause of why we've lost so much confidence. I think that is overall because we forgot about the basics. When I first started my first company, marketing for us was taking out ads in newspapers and putting out flyers and going to networking events and handing out cards and feeling confident within the conversation. So the second thing is get back to the conversation, because we've eliminated human communication out of our lives and we don't talk to anybody anymore. If you text, you have to text me to call me. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Because we've eliminated the human element of connection, we're defeated. We have demised our confidence because now people don't, text us or inbox us. We don't feel validated. So get back to the human connection. You'll find out so much more about how valid you really are when you find the people who need what you have. And I say third, really start sharpening you. Invest in you. Invest in mentors, invest in coaches, invest in people who are going to be holding you to a higher level of accountability, but that are smarter than you. I love being in rooms when I'm the dumbest person in the room because it makes me know I have so much more to learn. And I'm always willing to be an understudy of confident people. So I love to be in rooms where I'm being challenged, where I'm being kind of groomed to be something different. So what I do is every month I take time for masterminding. And so that mastermind takes me to a place where my mind's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. Because now I have a new skill set that I can add to the rest of the skill sets that helps me be more marketable and more genuine and also more profitable in the marketplace. So if you put all of those together, you'll be fine.
Absolutely. Wow. And that's so incredibly true because there has been so many times that the women that I've been working with, or myself included, where I've joined a program and the program says this is for people right here in their business. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you're in the program, you find out you're like the tallest poppy, as they would call it.
Yes. Yes.
And then you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting much out of this program because all of everybody else wants to look to me.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to find the right mastermind or find the right program. And what is your suggestion on where would people look? Is there any key factors that somebody would look at? It's like, okay, I want to join a mastermind, or I'm ready to update my skills so that I can have the confidence to move forward. What are the basic tips that you would use for that?
I join a lot of things. So I join a lot of membership associations that are at a different level than me. And so that allows me to kind of get into their inner circle and find out who's the smartest one in this arena that I'm going to be in. And then I literally would ask that person, that sharpest person in that tool shed, hey, really quick, would you want to mastermind with me? And then they'll bring on all their smart friends. And so I'm never in a space where I'm the smartest one. And I tell them where my lacks are. And I'll say, look, I'm not good at this, that, the other, but I notice that you're good at, because you have something that I don't have. And so then we'll work together that way. So that's the first thing. If you can't find it, develop it. And this goes back to the human communication. If you're in the right rooms, you will be able to shake the right hands and find out, okay, that's the smartest woman in this room. Okay, let me get with Lucy and let me see what Lucy has to say. And if you'd be willing to be my accountability partner and let's mastermind for a VIP day or something like that, we can move forward. And that is really how you start doing that. And the second thing is, if you're not a member of something, create it. Because another thing that I have done that I'm going to pat my own self on the back is when I couldn't find someone or a group to mastermind with, I basically put out a call for masterminding. And I said what I was looking for. So basically, I was filling in the skill sets I didn't have. And I invited those people to be around me. And that created my inner circle. So my tribe is different. And so if you can't find it, create it.
Wow, that's so true. That is so true. So if you can't find it, create it.
Mm-hmm.
And really networking, going to the different groups and
Yes.
talking to the person that has the skill sets that you feel are not your skill sets and asking them, do you want to mastermind?
Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant. And it really gets back to business has really changed.
Yes.
When I first opened my first business, it was the same. You put an ad out, you had a telephone. It was real simple. People
Yeah.
called, they said they wanted your services, you provided the service, they gave you money.
Yeah.
And and now we have social media, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have
Mm-hmm.
this stuff online. And the first question a lot of people ask is, do you have a website?
Yes. You know, that's what I'm like, it's so different. It's taking the human element out. And I think that there's an underground community that we're still talking. And this is how you get beyond six figures, is that the underground community, they love to talk. They're not auditing you on social media. They want to
Mhm.
see you and they want to see you be present and they want to see you be present consistently. And that's going to really help you to be able to grow.
Exactly, exactly. So, some of the things that we've talked about so far is the fear that women had for moving forward or the confidence that they had, and being able to really break through that 6 and 7 figure income per year and keep it steady,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the most important things. Sometimes you can break through that, but then
Right.
you bounce
Back and forth.
back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the ways or some of the strategies that you would recommend for breaking through that fear that keeps them bouncing up and down, just like hitting it and then going down, or just having the fear in general?
I say number one, don't get comfortable when you get up. So if you break the $100,000 barrier, congratulations! I celebrate you and acknowledge your success. But don't get comfortable. And this is what happens: we get to a certain point, and then we go start celebrating a little too early. So we go out and get the Chanel bag, and we rest a little bit because now we got our first $100,000 client. So now we're not working on Tuesdays anymore. We start changing our habits because we immediately think we're successful. And then what ends up happening is when you start getting depleted, you start trying to find a way to get back into the market, and now the market has changed. So number one, don't get content because you've got a lot more to do. So whatever you did to get through the first barrier, keep doing it twice as much to get through the second. The second thing is remain consistent. I work at the same level today than I did when I was not even close. I work at the same the only thing is the people have changed and money has changed, but I work at the same level. So I remain consistent. Yeah, I can afford probably to take off a few days here and there. I do take off Fridays for religious acknowledgement, but that's about it. I work at the same level of consistency. So you would always think, why would she want to work that hard? Because number one, I love it. Number two, it's a habit. And number three, remaining consistent takes you to the next level. And I have so many more levels I want to get through. So remaining consistent. And the last thing I would say is never stop marketing. Marketing is key. So you must always be marketing yourself. I put out a quote yesterday on LinkedIn that says, are you marketing everybody else except yourself? You have to be conceited in marketing yourself, because what happens is you'll get to that 100 or 200 or $300,000 barrier and you stop marketing yourself because now you think that everybody must have gotten the memo that you've crossed the 6-figure barrier. No, you have to keep marketing, keep influxing the market, keep influencing the market so that you're able to go to 7 figures and 8 figures and 9 figures and beyond, because this is the way we're going to crack and shatter this glass ceiling that is around women in business, because we don't market enough. So be selfish once in a while. Market you and only you. So I have days when I don't talk about anybody else except myself. And for us is when we believe that that's such a selfish feeling, but there's nothing selfish about believing so much in yourself that the only person you market is yourself. And that's the way you get through it.
Wow, that is so true. Consistency is truly the gem of all gems.
Yes, gotta be
And
consistent.
marketing yourself. And
Yes.
as women leaders, as women entrepreneurs, we have this desire to nurture one another and to bring one another up,
Yeah.
which is so amazing. I remember not too long ago, not to date my age too much, but it was it was really women had this, they indoctrinated this belief that it's a dog eat dog world,
Yeah.
and you have to look out for yourself, and they tried that model and it didn't work for them.
Well,
It
no.
did not work. They started having adrenal failure, they started having health problems because they weren't being true to them true selves.
Yeah.
And now, being true to yourself, marketing yourself, being consistent, and doing the same thing you do
Every day.
every day to reach the 6 figure, even after you've gotten there. So,
Yeah.
taking breaks is good and it's healthy, but it also means that you still have to be consistent doing what you did to get to the first level
Yes. Yes.
and to still continue to go and to market, market, market.
Never stop marketing.
Never stop
Never.
market. Ever.
Never. No matter what day it is, just keep marketing.
Yes, that's so very true. Carol, we're almost finished with the interview, and you have a phenomenal gift for individuals so that they can get a hold of you and stay in contact with you. Can you give us a little bit of details about what you have available for them and how can they get a hold of this?
Sure. And I'll send you the link as well. I did a recent masterclass, a four-part series masterclass on confidence and women in leadership. We talked about everything from pricing your business to confidence conflicts to the inner circle. I talked about a lot of different things in there, but the main thing we focused on is money. And so all the ladies will get a copy of that, and so that you would know that there are four parts of success. And in those four parts, it's literally 3 hours worth of content. It's probably some of the best content I've put out in a long time. And in that content, you will find out why we price ourselves so low, why we play small, and some of the confidence clues you need to be able to have in order for you to get through some of these humps. And this would be great for your ladies who need to get past that 100K mark, because that is such a pivotal mark for us that after we hit it, sometimes we have confidence issues with going to 200 and 300. And so you'll learn what pricing has to do with the fact that where we get plateaued in our own success. And so
Wow, fabulous, fabulous. And individuals can get a hold of you at your website, which is CAROL
mhm.
SANKAR.com.
Yes.
And the link for the free gift is below on the same page that the interview is on. So please make sure you go to that link. Take advantage of Carol's generous, generous offer so that you can really start moving beyond the 100K. And Carol, is there any other tips that you would like to leave our phenomenal creative women entrepreneurs with?
I said one thing I want to leave them with is to take action. The thing is, great people like you, great visionaries like you, do awesome work in the atmosphere. But so many of us listen and we hear. But I would advise you to take action, because all information expires if we don't implement it. So if you do nothing else, every speaker, every presentation, everything you hear, take action. So being thankful for the space and making sure that every interview means something to every woman who is going to be a part of this. Please, ladies, do me a favor. Take action. That's the only thing you need to do.
Absolutely. Carol, it's been so incredible having you on. The tips and the strategies that you have given us today have truly made an impact for these women. And ladies, please take the action. Take the action to get the confidence and take Carol up on her offer. So until next time, it's been great. Thank you so kindly.